to compare dissimilar fraction. For our first example, we have 3/5 and 3/6. Please be mindful that you cannot compare two fractions if they have different denominators. So to make a comparison, we need to turn dissimilar fraction to similar fraction. And to do so, you need to find what we called the least common denominator. And there are multiple ways on how to get the LCD. The first one is through the common multiple or done through skip counting. So the multiples for 5 are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and so on. For 6, the multiples for 6 are 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, and so on. Now look for the least common multiple, which is 30. So the LCD for 5 and 6 is 30. You can also find LCD through the continuous division. To do so, simply take all the denominators, 5 and 6. 5 is already a prime number, but we can still proceed with 6. Divide it by the lowest prime number, which is 2. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. And now we got all the prime numbers. All we need to do is to multiply them together. So 2 times 5 is 10. 10 times 3 is 30. So we got the same answer using a different method. So now that we know what our LCD for 3/5 and 3/6, we can now proceed with the next step, and that's to find the new numerator. To do so, there is a pattern that we need to follow. Divide and multiply. Divide the new denominator by the old denominator and then multiply it by the old numerator. So in this case, 30 is our new denominator divided by the old denominator, which is 5. The answer is 6. Then multiply it by the old numerator, which is 3. So the answer is 18. For our second fraction, just do the same pattern. 30 divided by 6 is 5 times 3 is 15. And now we got the similar fraction. We can now start the comparison. So we can conclude that 18 over 30 is greater than 15 over 30. Or we can just say that 3/5 is greater than 3/6. Now for our second example, we have 6/24 and 7/6. So I'm going to use the continuous division method. Take all the denominators, 24 and 6, divide them by the lowest prime number. So both are divisible by 2. 24 divided by 2 is 12. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Now both numbers are divisible by 3. So 12 divided by 3 is 4. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So we still have one composite number, which is 4. We can still proceed by dividing 4 by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And just bring down 1. Now that we got all the prime numbers, we can start the multiplication. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24. 24 times 1 is 24. So our LCD is 24. Or, to make it simple, if you notice, if the biggest denominator is just a multiple of the smallest denominator, we can conclude that 24 is already our LCD without going through any continuous division or multiple or skip counting. So now that we got the LCD, we may now proceed with the next step, divide and multiply. Divide 24 by the old denominator, which is 24. 24 divided by 24 is 1. Then multiply it by the old numerator, which is 6. So 1 times 6 is 6. So for the second one, do the same pattern. 24 divided by 6 is 4. 4 times 7 is 28. So we can now conclude that 6 over 24 is less than 28 over 24. Or 6/24 is less than 7/6.